Welcome to NBA Today. I'm Richard Jefferson in for Malika Andrews. That's Chiney Ogwumike, and she's here in the studio. Big Perk, we think, might be joining us. We're not sure, but look, let's just enjoy this time before his face shows up on the screen right now, okay? That's fine. That's fine for me. All right. Well, look, instead, we're not going to start the show talking about where Damian Lillard is going to end up. We're not going to talk about the latest regarding James Harden, because I feel like we're always going to be able to do that. We're going to talk about a team that has already made their big move, the Phoenix Suns.
Okay.
Bradley Beal is in.
Correct.
Chris Paul is out. Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, they're all targeting a championship this season. But there's another Sun already feeling the heat as expectations start to rise in Phoenix.
I can feel the whole world hating me in a way, where I think I'm the guy a lot of people point at, and I see it and feel it. But mainly what I've been working on 5 to 6 days a week since we've lost is just motivating myself to change the narrative of what people think about me. You know, because no matter how you put it, I feel like I have no fans out here. You know, and I can feel it because the whole world's saying it. And my goal this whole summer is to change the narrative.
All right, Chiney, look, as a player, you understand, like, situations can change, like your home fans can become your anti-fans very quickly. What did you hear from Deandre Ayton, especially in his voice?
He's had a lot of pressure the last few seasons, and not too long ago, about a year ago, I actually sat down and interviewed him. And he's someone that's extremely competitive, but at the sometimes you look at his game and it doesn't show that, right? I think people want him to be more aggressive because everyone knows his potential. He's someone that can, finish around the basket, but they want him to do that more consistently. He tends to fade away sometimes. He loves the mid-range shot. He's capable of scoring from 10 to 15 to 17 feet. And so sometimes, in the NBA right now, you get caught up with that finesse game. But really, to be a championship level team, the best players in the world are at the power forward center position. And this is a team that has that championship level expectation. So if you're DA, you want to go toe-to-toe with those guys. And sometimes that lack of aggression is what people sort of criticize with him. And I looked and, crunched the numbers with producer Jose. And you see he gets 10 rebounds a game, which is like necessary for that position. But he's lower in the bottom third in centers, in free throws attempted, also in blocks. And so you want to see a complete aggressive game out of him because that's where it's necessary, especially where the stars reside in the NBA right now.
No, I agree. And I think the hardest part about what I heard from him, and he says he feels like he doesn't have any fans here, this is mind-blowing because he went to high school in Phoenix. He was the #1 pick out of the University of Arizona.
Speak on it.
I'm just saying, this man is an Arizona guy. So for him to be in a position where he says he doesn't feel like he has any fans, there's something more there. And I do think it's unfair. Everyone's talked about how much sacrifice, and that is true. But if you're the #1 pick and you're 25 years old, you should be in a position where you feel like, hey, they're going to build around me, not keep pushing him further and further aside. And that's the thing. Chris Paul, it wasn't really happy with Chris Paul. Now he's got less of a point guard to deal with. And so how does he reach his maximum capacity? Because it's a combination. I want to win, but I also want to be the best version of myself. So if we're not winning and I don't feel like we're the best version of myself, on top of the fact that the Suns didn't want to give him his max contract after going to the NBA Finals. So, where do you take that emotion?
The only thing that you didn't say that would have been appropriate is, he needs to bear down, right?
He definitely needs to bear. He's bearing down right now.
Yeah, he is bearing down.
He's bearing down very heavily.
So you have fans. I think sometimes you feel like the people that are criticizing you aren't fans. It means that fans have expectations based on where you have been, being a #1 pick, as you alluded to. But I think that he's okay because when you're a post player and your team leads the league in pick and rolls, you're going to have opportunity. Now, it's on you. What do you do with the ball when you get it? Are you aggressive? Are you attacking the rim? Are you able to pick and roll and then you get the ball and find another shooter? It's that next level of the game. But I do think you highlight a very important point. When you're a #1 pick, you're expected to run the franchise. You're supposed to be the centerpiece. I mean, are we talking about new stadiums and new arenas for Victor Wembanyama? What is San Antonio going through? When you have those expectations, you have this idea of where your success is individually, but also collectively. You're a team that not too long ago went to the NBA Finals. You're a team that now has brought in so many other great, talented players. Now it's like you feel like you're in a corner and people are criticizing you because you have to be perfect when you're playing next to those guys.
Well, unfortunately, Kendrick Perkins is available right now. Look at that smile. Whatever, bro. Look, Perk, Did you hear DeAndre's sound? Did you hear it? What are you giggling for, bro?
No, go ahead. Go ahead, RJ.
Okay, so the Deandre Ayton sound, he basically said he doesn't feel like he has fans. He feels like he's being criticized almost unfairly. What do you think DeAndre Ayton can do, especially given the fact that they're trying to turn him into Clint Capella?
Well, the good thing about it is that he actually have a coach that really believes in him. Because think about it. Over the first part of the offseason, we were hearing about Deandre Ayton name being in trade rumors. As soon as they hired Frank Vogel shut all that down and said, no, I want DeAndre Ayton here because he believed in DeAndre Ayton's potential and his skill set. And no one has ever questioned his skill set. He averaged a career, 16 points and 10 rebounds. Now, could that be higher? Absolutely. But here's the thing. DeAndre Ayton has to change the narrative about him for us being soft. That's the only narrative, for us being soft. And the way to go about that is go into it with that dog mentality this year. I tried to give him the blueprint last season. Apparently, he didn't see my clip or didn't listen to me. But look, all you have to do when you're playing with these three guys, be a hell of a screen setter, play the dunker spot, block shots, be a dog on the glass, and be able to mix it up in the trenches. And I guarantee you, he will capture all the people that he say are not rocking with him no more.
Now joining NBA Today, fresh off of headlining at the Hash House of Go-Go, ESPN gambling guru Tyler Fulghum. Tyler, it's never too early to start making some money, so let's take a look at some of the over-unders on wins in the Western Conference. First up, the Suns are on the board at 51.5 wins this season. Tyler, what are the chances of Phoenix hitting that number?
Yeah, I'm going to play under here, and I know they have all the firepower, but look at the Western Conference last year, guys. Only the Denver Nuggets, who won the NBA championship, won 52 games or more. There was only one other team that won more than 50. That was the Memphis Grizzlies. This conference is loaded with depth. So I think really the Nuggets and maybe one other team might be a 50-win squad, but it's going to be hard to rack up 52-plus wins for any of these teams. And we know Phoenix is so top-heavy with their roster. If they suffer an injury, it's really going to test that depth. So I think the safer play here is to go under probably a 46, 47, 48 win team.
All right. Chiney, what do you think? Next up, Lakers retooled their roster. Look, their win total is at 46.5, but the Lakers have never hit the over in the LeBron James era. Do you think that the Lakers are in for a big season, Tyler?
Yeah, I do. And I just saw Perk run his top 5 signature moves in my arena, the gambling arena. The number 1 signature move is Perk's deadbolt lock. And of all the teams we're going to talk about here today, this one is my deadbolt lock. I like the over here, and I want to know how you guys feel, but this team won 43 games last year, and they played 2/3 of the season with a roster that didn't fit. After they traded away Russell Westbrook, bought in all those pieces that they have now brought back this offseason and added a few more, like Jackson Hayes and Gabe Vincent, I think this is a team that wins 47 or more games and contends for a top 4 seed in the West.
Perk, do you think that number? Look at Perk shaking his head. Are you like that number?
Yeah, and I said it last week. Look, one thing about Tyler is that I actually like Tyler more than I like you, and we agree a lot on a lot of things. And he's right. This is a dead boat lock. Matter of fact, this is borderline disrespectful, but we'll take it. I got the Lakers winning 50-plus wins this season. I'm sorry. Bringing back the same core group, having a training camp under their belt. Darvin Ham going into his second season as the head coach. He's going to be sharper for us, his tools, and getting into his bag. I'm going with Tyler on this one. I'm taking over.
Janae,
Well, I agree with them because they dug themselves into an early season hole and they dug their way out, and then they made over time, whether it was the NBA trade deadline or free agency, small pieces that have had incremental, larger impact. And so I like their pieces through free agency. I think the average age was around 26 years old, so they're younger, versatile pieces that can play on both ends. I think the Lakers, in Lakerland, here where we are, people are pretty optimistic.
Okay, Tyler, really quickly, how many teams hit 50 wins in the Western Conference?
I'm going to say 2. I like Denver. Great home court advantage. Maybe Memphis does it again. They were the only other team last year. They were a great home team. But I'm going to say only 2 of them. Maybe it's the Lakers and Memphis drops off a little bit. But it's going to be very hard. There are 9, 10 teams in this conference, maybe even 11 or 12, that could win 40-plus games if they play their best ball.
Okay, look, the Lakers eliminated the Warriors last season. The Warriors have done some restructuring this summer. Do you think Golden State is poised to have a comeback season?
Yeah, I'm going to go under this as well. They won, 44 games last year, so they got to win 5 more than they won a season ago. And if you're a Golden State believer, look, you can point to a lot of things. The dynamic in the locker room because of the Draymond Green, Jordan Poole situation. Well, that's done. Poole's out the door. Andrew Wiggins, important starter, missed so much time for personal reasons off the floor. He should be fully engaged this season. So bringing in CP3, he's a Hall of Famer, but he's another old guy along with Dre, Clay, and Steph. So I'm going to go under here. This is probably my least comfortable one, but I think there's a few reasons to think, even if they're better than last year, getting to 49 wins is going to be tough in the West.
Okay, now they had the worst, one of the worst records at home. So it's like, there's room for 10 more wins on the road.
That's what I was going to say.
So, Chiney, what do you got?
The road record is what will autocorrect itself. They're not going to lose as many road games as they lost last year, but I still think 48 is quite a bit, as he said, in a competitive West. A lot of teams are going to be hovering around the 40 range, and not many are going to get to the 50. And if you are in the 50, you're the Nuggets, the defending champs.
Perk.
I'm going with Tyler, the under. I don't see how adding CP3 would change anybody's mindset for us, them having over 48.5 wins. Matter of fact, how disrespectful right now is Caesars Sportsbook putting them over the Lakers or having them, the over under 48.5. The Lakers was at, 46? That's disrespectful. The Lakers got a way better roster. And then you have to think about the Sacramento Kings, the Oklahoma City Thunder, the Phoenix Suns, Memphis Grizzlies, Dallas Mavericks. Like Tyler said, the West is going to be loaded. Every single night, the Warriors are going to be tested.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.